I had chicken nuggets.
Did you have chicken?
I was
nuggets?
chicken
Okay.
nuggets at
All right.
McDonald's. I don't ever get the burgers.
Do yourself an experiment. Go get a quarter pounder with cheese, and then go to Burger King and get a Whopper, but remove the ingredients. Like I think the Whoppers come with lettuce, tomato.
I don't need to do this experiment.
But and then you'll taste them and you'll realize, oh, Brian's
not the
exactly
same.
right, and I'm Brandon, and I'm wrong.
They're
What
not
you
the
should
same.
do, Brian, is you should get both of them, switch the meat on them, and then give them to him, and be like, all right, which one's which?
Dude!
And he'll be like, see, the Burger King one is so much better. Be like,
could tell
oh,
you that
really?
exactly-
Oh my god! And you got to trick them. You just get
Plasmo.
the same meat for
we'll
both.
use that Plesbo.
I don't.
Plesbo.
I don't even eat at those places anymore because I eat healthy now.
Nice, dude. Give me a high five.
High five.
Why are you so passionate about burgers?
Because he's wrong.
Well, there you have it.
There you have it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 88 of the Frozen North Gaming Podcast. E3 2016 coming up. It's right around the corner, and we are going to talk about that today. My name is JJ, and I'm here with my friend Mark.
Howdy, y'all!
That's it.
The end.
Good. To and Brian.
Oh, howdy!
Hey,
No copyright infringement.
whoa!
And I don't know how he's going to top that. Brandon.
Howdy, y'all.
There, okay. Yep.
That was
Nice
copyright
I like
infringement.
his.
Nice and easy. You know, you don't need to scream at people.
What?
Whoa.
That's what the people want.
Is it?
Yes.
He's kind of right. It's become a
Mark,
staple.
Well,
Mark
you know-
assumes that when people hit play on our podcast, they immediately fall asleep, so he needs to wake them back up.
I would.
Yeah.
I'm just sneaker checking them.
Just kind of where we're headed right now. Oh, man. So, before we get into E3, what have you guys been playing?
I'll start.
Let me look at my phone.
Quite a few things. Started Zelda: The Skyward Sword. Really good. I'm liking it.
Get off the island yet?
Yeah, I'm on the third dungeon, like the
Wow.
the third, like the pillar of light that comes up.
Already farther than I got.
Yep. Control scheme's a little weird. I don't like the motion controls. But they're fine. It's just whatever. The Wii, that Wii. Anyway, my brother bought me Battleborn and the new Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I've been playing the original Tomb Raider because I couldn't really remember the plot of that, so I wanted to go back into it fresh. So I've been playing the original Tomb Raider, getting ready to play Rise of the Tomb Raider on my computer, and then I've been playing through Battleborn. Kyle and I have been doing Co-op City on that. And lastly, I have been playing just a little bit of the Old Republic here and there, a little smattering, getting my Sith Warrior leveled up to enjoy the story.
Word.
Word up.
Mark.
Whoa.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
What you been playing?
I've been playing some VR video games. I put a lot more time into the Job Simulator. Everyone laughs every time.
Wait.
Every time
You know
I
what?
say I
you guys,
played.
you guys laugh.
Mark.
I did too.
No,
I
it
tried it.
But I have a question for you, Mark. When you're in the office all day,
Yes.
you feel like you're just like, oh, I can't wait to go home. It put on my vibe. And-
You're literally rehashing what JJ said a week or two ago.
But honestly though, watching the videos looks fantastic.
It's super good.
It's one thing to look at videos, and it's another thing to actually be in there, like flipping the pan with eggs inside of it, and like cracking the egg on the side, or pouring the coffee. And it sounds so mundane and ridiculous. But like, I mean, Mark was watching me play it and kind of make a fool out of myself while I was trying to do this food. And I opened the refrigerator, see a bottle of wine in there, and I'm like, wonder what happens if I just threw it out in the middle of the restaurant and it shattered over in the corner. And I was like, holy crap, like it is legit.
Have you had any time with the lab yet?
I have. It's actually really unstable on my computer, so
Gotta do
I
some
can get like
upgrades.
one game in and then it'll just crash. I don't think it's an upgrade issue.
Gotcha.
It's just, I don't know. Also played some Fantastic Contraption. Very cool. But, as Brian has pointed out correctly, these games all kind of lend themselves to like 20 to 30 minute experiences, and then they're like, okay, I kind of
I think it's
want
a
to
good
move on.
And I just want to point out that while I'm a bit of a cynic on early adopting on VR, I still feel like these experiences are really, really awesome windows into what VR can become.
Yeah, it's only going to go up from here.
Right.
I mean,
You're not gonna be like, I can't wait to get my Vive and sink 6-7 hours a day into it, and then you're gonna play these games once, be like, that's really cool, and then you're gonna wait for the actual games to come out, which we'll get into later when we talk about E3.
there's some cool games coming.
Yeah.
And also, surprise, surprise, put about 8 hours into Final Fantasy IX.
Half of which was on the card game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I forgot that you get cards from the random encounters, and I was getting all panicked. I was like, I don't have any cards. So I spent like 3 hours grinding out cards in Lindblom.
Nice.
Jeez. I'm 19 hours in, and I got to the stopping point, Black Mage
Nice.
Village. I did not stop to play cards at all.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the 3 times speed, so you can
I think-
probably get there.
Yeah, once I find a good place to level up, I can barrel through the rest.
Yeah. Cool. You know what? I'll go ahead and go since I can kind of complement what Mark was saying a little bit, because I got to go over to his place and try out VR, which was very, very, very much like exactly what he's been describing. Like, you just have to try it. I was... There's one thing that I was a little bit disappointed of. I was expecting like full on like, not being able to see the inside of the goggles and stuff like that, which you totally do. It's like you're looking in a window almost. Right. But because you're doing these things and the controls are so responsive, I say controls, but it's your body moving around and stuff. It didn't bother me. I was blown away by how responsive everything was and how unbelievably accurate, moving around and actually interacting with these things inside this virtual square was. Did you get to try the blue?
I haven't yet.
Oh my gosh, dude! And I mean, did you see on the screen what I was looking at?
Mm-hmm.
I think you did. Okay,
I did.
So like, you saw when I was trying to like touch the jellyfish and stuff like that. Like, it's all it is just you're watching sea creatures swim by you basically underwater, and it was mind blowing just how incredibly real everything looked. And there was a rock there that I wanted to lean on at one point, but my mind had to be like, no, you idiot, that's not a real thing.
Not real.
And like, it was really, really cool to see all that stuff. And I can't wait to see, what comes up at E3. I think soon we'll probably do an episode devoted to VR so far. We'll get Tank on here or something like that.
That's a good idea. Oh, I wanted to mention, since we're talking about VR, there's officially like somebody hacked Minecraft to work with virtual reality, to work in the Vive.
Oh, really?
And there's a Reddit server that's dedicated to it. So
cool.
I'm planning on getting on there, and I'll tell you what I think in 2 weeks.
Interesting. Okay. And then I also been playing a little bit of Star Wars, Old Republic, and good stuff. Really, really fun stuff. I just hit 64, and I think 65 is the max level.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I played. Those of you who watched on Twitch the other day, been playing Valkyria Chronicles, the remaster. Finally jumping into that game, and really, really cool. Love the art style, love the story, and I've barely touched it. I'm only on chapter I think 3 or 4, but very, very cool little game. And then Final Fantasy IX, as I just mentioned. So, Brandon, what about you, sir?
So
you shot people. Yeah, we get it. Okay, moving on.
Hey,
So,
I mean, you're not too far from the truth, but no, I haven't played Destiny in a couple weeks.
But it's the Destiny.
It is the Destiny. I just haven't played it in a couple weeks. I have been playing Heroes of the Storm relentlessly. So they added incentives to get your rank up in Hero League, and so I've been trying to get all my heroes high enough so I can jump in there and like be contributing, and not just like playing all one type of character.
Right.
I'm trying to round myself.
Right.
So I've been going super hard on that. That's about it. I started playing Diablo the other day because the new season started like a month ago.
yeah,
I
you
was
said
so
you made a
tempted.
new character, right?
Yeah, I started a wizard. Me and Nate were playing that earlier today.
I've always been tempted. Every time a new season comes, I'm like, I should start a character, and then I'm like, I have so many games to play.
Yeah, I've only ever played Demon Hunter on that game, so I was like, I'm gonna try something different, and it's a lot of fun playing something different. Imagine that.
Yeah, dude. Branching out's great.
Yeah, so just those two. I still haven't gotten into Hero League, but I'll let you know how that goes.
All
I
right,
gotta
man.
get to rank 10.
Well, if you get to rank 10 before Kyle Murphy gets to Masters, we're going to shame Kyle Murphy for a solid week.
I only have till June 14th,
You can do it.
so
You can do it.
Brian's kidding. We're gonna shame him regardless.
I mean,
yeah.
So I mean,
the dude doesn't even play StarCraft anymore. You keep sending me pictures of Dark Souls. Kyle, stop sending pictures of Dark Souls.
Get Masters now.
Holy crap!
Okay, so moving on along, contributor question. 2 weeks ago, we asked, what are you looking to see from E3 2016? Oh, man, we got no entries at all.
That excited,
Not
huh?
a single one.
Wow.
So apparently nobody's excited for E3 2016.
None of you.
I'm
sent
excited.
in
None of you.
emails.
So, you know what? This is your fault. It's going to be a shorter episode because normally we talk about what you said, but it's going to be shorter now. We're moving right on into the news after I plug our emails and
I
stuff. What?
personally enjoyed what no one said about the
You know what?
game.
Did you just fill in your own blank? You did.
You did.
I'm glad that everyone's finally gotten on Patrick Stitch's level.
Oh!
Does everybody know who he is?
I don't get
He's
that
one of the
reference.
contributors who's
Huge
never
insight.
made a single contribution
Oh,
to
yeah.
the show.
Well, yeah, but he's been on the show before.
That's true.
Long time ago when we first
2 years ago.
reviewed
Hey, how-
Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, hey, how we doing?
How you doing?
Hey, how doing?
But we will be doing another question for next episode, so we'd appreciate as many people as you can get send us stuff in. You can send those submissions over to frozennorthpodcast@gmail.com. Our website is fngaming.net. Our Facebook is facebook.com/frozennorth. Our Twitter is @fnpodcast. Our blog is frozennorthpodcast.blogspot.com. We are on Twitch at twitch.tv/frozennorthgames. I got my camera working again, so hopefully it holds out and I'm able to play some more.
Your PlayStation camera?
Correct.
Nice.
Our YouTube is Frozen North Gaming, and where you can see or hear episodes a day early. And we're on iTunes, where you can subscribe to and rate us on there. So please do. Tell us what you think, what you like, what you don't like. Boom. Brian, news.
All right, real quick. We're in our news vacuum before E3, so there's only a few
Yeah.
things I want to talk about. The first one is Oculus and Facebook decided that they were going to go ahead and not do what they said they were going to do and put some DRM on for Vive or for locking the Vive out of their proprietary
Yeah.
software.
Oculus Store. You
Yep.
can't use the Vive on it.
Yep. So that,
Really?
all that talk
Yep.
about working together and pushing VR to the future was just talk, and businesses will be businesses. So that was a big news story. I mean, I would be lying if I didn't see that coming a mile away. Companies always say that, like they always want to put off that air of like we're about you guys and we want the VR to succeed, but then when it starts affecting their bottom line, they're just like, eh.
You know what sucks about that is like, this might just be me being a sentimental little loser, but like, what's the name of the guy who's founded Oculus? You know who I'm talking about?
Palmer Luckey.
Palmer Luckey.
Yeah, Palmer Luckey. Like, he seems like such a nice dude. Like, I always thought he was pretty genuine. Like,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe it's just his.
Well, he's
associates and whatnot.
the chief technology officer. He's not the chief executive.
So
officer.
he's not has nothing to do with the decisions and all this stuff.
He might. I mean, he might not have control over it. It's hard,
Right.
impossible to say.
It
But
sucks. It really sucks.
Business is gonna business. Speaking of business, another big news story. Disney is ending, literally done with Infinity. They stopped production and are no longer going to be manufacturing it. It's gone. It's gone.
Sad face.
A lot of stuff has surfaced, and I guess there were rumors throughout its thing that a lot of the companies within Disney Infinity didn't get along so well. It was a kind of a pain getting, like, Marvel didn't mesh very well with Star Wars, and there was a lot of internal, which is so weird because Disney's the parent company, obviously, but then within that parent company, you have all these IPs that are vying for, because obviously Marvel gets a cut when you buy a Marvel character.
Right.
well, Disney's game studio obviously is
Correct.
just as. It's just like anything else.
Correct.
Just a little pod of a giant organization.
Yeah, there was a lot of language in contracts where, like, you couldn't have Star Wars and Marvel characters playing together on the same, like, story mission. You couldn't have that. That was not. They didn't want that. They wanted to say segregated and all. Anyway,
I don't know why anyone cares.
no one really does care. But Disney Infinity, if you liked it or were collecting it, I'm sorry, but Disney is cutting ties with it, and they are going to be ending the what were those games called? Like Toys to Play or Play to Toys or whatever it is.
I have no idea. We're ending our play to toys.
Play to Toys. Hey guys, Toys to Play.
The toy action thing.
Game,
something.
yeah. Anyway,
something
so
like that.
that's done. That's really all the news there is. We're in that little vacuum where everything kind of quiets down right before the explosion that is E3.
I'm
Yeah.
sure the next episode will be the same way.
Yep. That news vacuum.
All right.
But
Well-
then it gets good.
But then it gets good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love doing our E3 episodes. They're my favorite
so
ones.
good.
that
They're
we
so
do.
they're fun to just make fun of each other.
You're really moving up in the world, JJ. Last year you went to the Sony thing in Kansas City. This year you're going to E3.
I'm excited.
It's huge.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And
I won't be alone though.
boom.
Oh yeah,
I think the main reason I like the E3 episodes is like to really trash on you guys' opinions.
that's the best part.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Like, oh, what, you're excited for that game, Mark? You're dumb.
Which
The only good game is
I can't
Mario
believe-
Tennis.
he doesn't have the game that we have on ours. My number 5, your number 1.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
interesting.
I
Right?
can't believe I don't have Cyberpunk on mine though. So
Spoiler alert.
That would be my number 6.
Yeah.
Anyways, do we have any?
I should
honorable
probably
mentions?
have that on my list.
Honestly,
no.
You know, I thought of an honorable mention yesterday, and then I didn't write it down, so I've forgotten. And this really doesn't help contribute to the discussion, but I'm just saying.
hey guys, thank you for that.
Hey, I
Brandon.
just wanted to interject and let you know that I'm interjecting.
guys, I had the best idea. I forgot it, but it was awesome.
I did. I was
So
like,
just let you know.
I was like, oh, that's a good honorable mention, and it's gone.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt. I just wanted to interrupt.
I've got one.
What's up,
Suikoden 6.
Mark?
That's
Hey,
my
why
honorable
not?
mention.
No, absolutely. It's not on anybody's list.
Here's hoping.
Here's hoping. Yep.
It's not going to happen.
You know what?
Konami is dead.
No, you know what? I'm gonna say honorable mention. More info on Final Fantasy 15. It's not on anybody's list.
Solid.
My
I'm curious to see it.
honorable
So,
mention for me is A Mark's Life by Marcus Lecoq. If we're just making stuff up.
Final Fantasy 15 is not made
No,
up.
I'm talking about Suikoden 6.
Okay.
Flight Attendant Simulator 2017.
You're still waiting on that game, huh?
Yeah,
With
for
VR,
VR,
man.
it would be
it's,
great.
It's Mark.
Could be.
Get the name right. It's Flight Attendant 2016 parentheses. Don't call me stewardess.
Fair enough.
All right, let's get going. All right, so top 5 things we're looking forward to from E3 2016. We got the 4 of us here, and we brought Brandon on board today because hell, he's going to be out there with me. So
Yeah, buddy.
we're going to be. I think we're probably going to want to see different things when we get out there,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a good time regardless.
It'll be
so
fun.
I guarantee you. He may not be into the same stuff as me, but like I guarantee you, whatever he's going to look at, I'm still going to be like, "Ooh, shiny and new!" I'm going to be all over it.
It's
So
good. We have very different tastes, but it's going to be interesting to see how we can collaborate on that
Yeah.
and see all the different stuff. You know, maybe we'll open our eyes to different things that we wouldn't have
Absolutely.
looked at before.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to try VR.
Well, none of
I'm excited
none of
to
Brandon's
not try
stuff's going to be
VR.
at E3 this year. Think seriously, Activision's
Well, unless
gone.
there's something that's not
EA 's
unannounced
gone.
that just
That's
looks
true.
cool. That
You know,
I'm going
yeah.
to derail this entire thing here. And just,
shocking.
I'm just remembering. I'm having a fun. You always like me telling my old stories when I remember them, and I'm remembering back to it was like junior year in high school. Back then, for E3, you couldn't watch anything live. You didn't get to see the entire keynote of any particular developer
It was
or
on
whatever.
G4 back then, wasn't it?
If you had G4,
Oh, I
you could
guess
see a
that's
lot
true.
more, but a lot of
Yeah.
people didn't have G4. And I remember what I did that year was I went to IGN and I paid like $50 a year for the IGN Insider
Wow.
access, and I called out sick that first day and just watched everything.
Yeah.
And
Good for you.
it was so awesome.
That's fun, Mark.
It was so cool.
That's pretty
It's a
awesome.
little story.
Look at Mark with a good.
He's
story.
right. I love when he does that kind of stuff. When he
Yeah.
actually has a story and it's not, I had to wait an extra 2 months for my Xbox 360.
Hey, that was a long 2 months.
That's my that's my story.
I love it. I love it.
Solid. All right, Brandon, you're
Yes,
the
sir.
new guy. You start us off.
Okay. My number 5 is Horizon Zero Dawn, but it shows up on someone else's list later on, so we can just have a little chat about it then.
All right, I'll go next. My number 5 is Mass Effect Andromeda, but it shows up later on somebody else's list, which I kind of already spoiled earlier. So we'll talk about
Whoops.
it then.
My number 5 is the not. I'm not looking forward to seeing the PlayStation Neo. I already kind of went through the leaked stuff, but I'm wanting to know the PlayStation Neo's marketing strategy more specifically. I want to know. After reading the details of what was leaked, I am so confused as to why Sony's doing this. Maybe they have a fantastic reason. I have a huge hunch it's for their proprietary PS VR, but that just drives the price up for their PSVR to $800. So why not just get a Vive at that point? So basically, I want to know why are you doing it? And you're releasing this really, really powerful PS4, but you're restricting everyone. You can't use the whole thing. You can't use all the power because you literally cannot develop a game specifically just for the PS Neo. Everything has to work on the PS4. So I am befuddled as to why PlayStation is doing this. They haven't said anything. Obviously, they haven't really revealed anything. Things have gotten leaked, so they have been silent. But I am very curious to see the direction that I can't see their direction, and I'm hoping they can kind of shine some light on why.
I'm guessing they'll design games that look just as good in either console, but with the PlayStation 4.5 or Neo or whatever you want to call it, it'll have a higher frame rate and have higher field of view, which is exactly what they need for virtual reality.
And that's my big hunch is that they are going to be pushing this further VR. Like, hey, we know you want PSVR, but we really recommend getting the Neo for the what is that they always say, for the best VR experience. Which congratulations, now everybody, it's $800 and not $400 that we were wanting. So yeah,
but you'd still have to buy a gaming PC if you wanted to go with the Vive.
very true.
So you're talking $1,800.
Yep. True.
Mark.
My number 5 is new PlayStation 4/Xbox One exclusives.
What? Whoa.
That's very original.
Whoa.
Pretty self-explanatory.
What is this word?
Exclusives?
Please say it in the Mark way.
Exclusives?
Thank you.
Sorry. Good grief.
God.
It's a pretty generic. That's the word I'm looking for. Generic.
But that's a big
Wish.
thing that a lot of people look to E3 for.
Yeah, I mean, but Sony's been knocking it out of the park for the last 2 years with all their new games, everything they've announced, like Horizon Zero Dawn. I just love everything they do now. And Microsoft used to be...
That makes me think of an honorable mention, too, for Xbox One, Recore.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game does look pretty cool. And for Microsoft, I've always been a huge fan of Microsoft. I loved them in the Xbox and Xbox 360 era. But they've kind of, I don't know, their pace has slowed down on releasing really cool games.
I think they're kind of making their way back from that really bad turn they made at the beginning, and they're making progress. I honestly am more confident now than I ever have been that they'll find their way back to the correct road.
Yeah. So I'm just holding
Phil
my
Spency.
breath. I'm like, let's see.
Yeah.
Redemption.
Yeah.
I think we'll see some cool stuff for Microsoft this year.
I'm hoping so too.
All right. Brandon, number 4.
My number 4 is, speaking of exclusives, Mark, this is going to tie right into what you were saying, Scalebound.
Oh, yeah.
The new Xbox exclusive. So everyone who listens consistently knows that I'm not big of an RPG player, right?
No.
Not my cup of tea.
Story, who needs
I wish
it?
you guys could have seen his face when he found out this was an RPG, too.
I was a little disappointed.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was going to be like an action RPG, but it's not. It's going to be more of a, from what I understand anyway, but it's going to be more of a story RPG. But that's why I'm looking forward to seeing this at E3, see what kind of game it's actually going to be, because I love dragons, man. Fantasy setting is awesome for me. If there's a dragon in it, you best believe I'm going to take a look.
Among mythical,
I got plenty of games you could try out then.
Yeah. Among mythical creatures, dragons are a top.
Are the coolest. Yeah. So this game having one as like your pet partner, like helping you out in battle, just seems really awesome. I hope it's not going to be like a JRPG and like turn based and like long drawn out cutscenes and story and just.
I'm okay with the cutscenes.
Who's producing it? Who's making it?
I don't remember. Okay. To be honest,
I can find out.
Can we go to our resident fact checker?
Yes, let's check the facts.
Oh, Mark, that's you.
I can tell you
God.
based on the company. If I know the company, I can tell you what it'll be.
Well, let's hope it's Western.
Yep.
I hope it's Western, but I think they were talking about it's going to be JRPG.
Platinum.
Actually, you might be in luck. Platinum makes extremely action-heavy games.
Oh yes,
Bayonetta, the Transformers game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna
Wonderful
love this.
101.
Oh,
It's like visceral action.
then this game might have to get moved up on my list.
Yeah, it's visceral action.
But
Platinum's known for visceral, like,
They made Star Fox Zero.
and they lost their president.
we're not going to worry about that.
Yeah. No, they make some fantastic. They make Metal Gear Rising. I mean,
I never played that.
It's just action. It's like Deadpool.
So, I'm really, really excited.
Yep.
So I'm really looking forward to that game.
I am now excited. I didn't know Platinum was making. I'm a huge Platinum fan. And,
Yeah. So this game should be really solid. I can't
Nice.
wait to see what they're going to do with it.
All right. My number 4 is potentially a new Elder Scrolls game, but it shows up later on somebody else's list, so we'll talk about it then. Ryan.
Hey guys, my number 4 is VR games, and that's one of the only people who don't have. I guess Brandon also don't have a VR box ordered. Find that weird. Looking at you, Mark.
Whoops.
Yeah, but you were a little bit more specific on
Yeah.
not necessarily like what we have now.
Yeah, I'm looking for a reason to buy VR. I know that there's tech demos out right now. They're awesome looking, but for me to buy a console, which is what VR is, it's basically a new console.
Pretty much.
I need to have more than just experiences. I want to have a fully fleshed game.
Agreed.
You know, I want a first-person shooter.
What they really need is a game like The Witness or Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Yes.
Something like that where you can really get into
Yep.
a story and explore a world for hours on end.
And I'm very curious, just a little sidebar on VR games, to figure out how they're going to fix movement in games. Because right now, there are games that are first-person oriented, like that Office knife-throwing game.
Yes.
However, you don't move around by walking, you teleport. And that's been a problem. Obviously, one of the hurdles that VR is going to have to get over. And if you want a real
There's two levels to that problem.
nausea,
The first level is do you don't want to make people sick.
Yep.
And the second level is if you take that kind of movement out of the game, then you lose the immersion.
yeah,
If you're moving around without moving around, that's just not going to feel right.
correct. So, yeah. Anyway, VR games, number 4.
All right. Mark.
My number 4, Xbox 1.5/PS Neo, was kind of what Brian was talking about.
Well, he was more like,
I don't care about the Neo as far as guts and
Well,
stuff.
he knows what it is. He
Yeah.
just wants to know why they're doing it.
Right. I want
Yeah.
marketing strategy.
I'm just excited to see it. I want to see what they're going to do with this half generation bump,
Yep.
which is it's just very strange.
Digital Foundry, when they did their they went over the leaked documents. It's quite a huge bump. Like if you just give raw power aside, it's a giant bump from the PlayStation 4 currently. But they're not going to be able to utilize half of that stuff.
I'm just really curious to see if it's going to be like just a new box to get us through half of a console generation, or if it's going to be something where you can like modular pull parts in and out, and
It's
kind of
hard
like
to
what
say.
what your good friend who winks said,
Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer, what
Yes.
he said.
Did you guys see that Halo 5 Forge is at Windows 10 now?
I did not.
It's just, it's like one mode, right?
Yeah, it's you can build maps.
Yeah.
And people are going like, dude, just bring Halo 5 to the PC already. You know, you're going to do it. And then at that point, the wink will have come full circle.
True. He's got to work on that winking eye.
Yeah.
OP Spency.
All right. Brandon, number 3.
My number 3 is new Elder Scrolls game, ? So
Whoa!
it shows up on someone else's list later, so we're going to talk about it then.
Yeah. Oh.
My number 3. Sometimes I wish we had cameras because then you
Yeah.
could just see like my looks and my points
Yeah.
and stuff.
My bad.
All good.
That's all right. It's all right. My number 3 is PlayStation VR news. As you may have, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this on the show before. I have my PSVR pre-ordered already. I'm super excited for it. I got to try the Vive over at Mark's place last week. Had a good time with it, so I'm really, really excited to see kind of a combination between both Mark and Brian's points for that. You know, I want to see where they take the VR in general, and I want to see what this is going to do for the industry of VR, because this is going to be the most accessible for people as it is. I want to make sure that it works with the regular PlayStation 4. I want to make sure that it runs well with the regular PlayStation 4. I want to see what kind of actual games they're going to have on there, because that's something you're going to be using controllers for. I would imagine you're not going to be using the Move on every single game they have.
Yeah.
So I'm just really curious to see what they do. So that's my number 3 PlayStation VR news.
PlayStation's going to have a big E3 this year. I just realized they got
Yeah.
PSVR and the Neo. Woo-wee!
I don't know if there's really that much to announce for the Neo, though.
Yeah.
Other than, hey, look, it's better.
It's yay!
Awesome.
Brian, number 3.
Me number 3. Zelda Wii U, and you may be like, Brian, a Wii U game? The only reason I put this on my list is because it's Zelda. I'm really not that super excited for the game. Zelda's kind of lost its luster with me over the years. Just,
What?
I don't know. Doesn't have that magical feeling it does anymore. But the reason I have it on my list is because after watching JJ play Star Fox Zero, I am so scared of what they're going to do to Zelda Wii U. I want to see, because the Wii U version is going to be playable. I want to report back from JJ like, okay, so to raise your shield, you have to lift the tablet up above.
Oh no.
We didn't talk about that. But when you watched me play it, and I don't even think we told you guys about this. Brian's watching me play, and he's watching me kind of look back and forth between the screen and the thing. And I did this boss fight against this huge giant worm-like thing that was, coming out of the ground, and I had to shoot and stuff like that. And so I get done, and I finally take down the thing, and I was like, now you see how annoying it was. And he goes, did you even get to see what was happening on the big screen? I was like, not really. I was too busy looking at the damn targeting thing. He goes, well, I could tell you it looked epic as hell on the screen.
Dude,
I know you didn't see it, but it was cool.
I didn't even watch JJ, but what I was seeing on the big screen was fantastic. And I was like, oh, man, that game is so cool. And then I looked over at JJ, and he's like,
when the player misses it.
Yeah. I was like,
that's a problem.
As the watcher, I was like, dude, that is awesome. That worm was the sweet boss battle. And then JJ's over here like,
I feel like that defeats the purpose.
It does. It completely does. JJ even admits like it's a tiny little view screen. You don't get to see the huge, epic, sprawling like world. But I'm afraid that's what's going to have Zelda Wii U. Raise your shield. Raise the tablet. Oh, swipe on the screen. I'm
hoping that it's not going to be like that. If it's going to be like coming out for the NX as well, because that would be I would assume two completely separate control screens.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see.
That is playable, so I hope you guys will play that.
I did hear that. Yeah, I think that's what they said. That's their only playable game.
Yeah.
So, but hey, if
we will try to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my number 3.
Mark,
number three.
Sorry.
My number 3 is Dishonored 2.
Is what? Sorry,
I don't know why that was so funny.
Don't you mean Dishonored?
No, Dishonored 2. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the first Dishonored. I did my epic stealth no-kill playthrough of the original Dishonored, of which Brian insulted me.
It's because he save scummed.
That's how I like to play it.
I know, but it's not an achievement.
I took like a 12-hour game.
I wouldn't put the word epic in there. Then.
Yeah,
that was epic to me.
Here's the thing. If you went through the whole game without saving, or you just used the...
No, man, I'm just imagining that I did it all right the first time.
I have a question.
I love it.
In my head.
So, why would you go through a whole game without killing anybody?
Because I can't. Because I'm fucking... I'm principled.
Riled.
Because I have my principles.
He's Corvo.
Yeah.
But where's the fun?
What do you mean, where's the fun? I'm still taking down the enemies.
Did you have
I'm
fun
just
doing
using
it?
Mark,
tranquilizer
it's really
darts.
hard to be on your side knowing how you play.
Here's how. This is what I did in Dishonored. You guys are getting me riled up. I used my ability to turn into a rat and run through little like vents and buildings and sewers to get around guards. And if I had to, I would shoot them with my tranquilizer crossbow.
Keep going.
Brian's preparing to say something.
I'm preparing. Just go ahead.
He's very physically preparing to say
Is it a
something.
rebut McIntyre?
Oh, huge rebut McIntyre.
I forgot what I was going to
Okay.
say.
Oh, let me just go ahead. Let me explain to you the difference between save scumming and the way I play, which is better. So, here's what I do. I try to do a no-kill run, right? I'm Corvo. I'm really in this world.
You haven't done this.
I'm living in the
This is
world.
a hypothetical
Hold on,
situation
hold
you're
on,
describing.
hold on. No.
I'm not letting you get away.
I played through Dishonored.
A hypothetical situation
no, I'm explaining
is
to you.
more hypocritical
Whoa.
than save scumming.
I'm literally telling you how I played the game. I literally played through Dishonored, right? And I tried to go each level. I'm like, okay, I don't want to get seen. I don't want to at all. I'm an assassin, right? So what I do is I don't ever save, and I just go through the level, and I let the auto saves do their thing, and it's like. It's all about, it's the beauty of ad lib, right? Oh, shoot. I got this guy stabbed, but this guy saw me. Okay, throw my knife. Boom, he's dead. Okay, cool. Oh, no, the alarm went off. Boom, sword fight, stab, jump up on the building, scramble, run. It's like you are living the assassin's life.
Nah, that's stupid.
But then let's go to
That's
Mark's.
stupid.
Let's go to Mark's playthrough. Stealth. Oh, he saw me. Okay, reload. Stealth. Got him. Stealth.
Whoa. You've already messed it
forgot
up.
the saves
wait.
in there.
Got
Yeah,
him.
good
Save.
God. There you go.
Walk 2 steps.
All
Save.
right.
Okay,
we
anyway.
get it.
Okay, yeah.
I liked it It took me like 30 plus
Thank
hours
you,
to beat
Mark.
the game.
Hey, mad respect.
And I'm really excited for the second one.
I think a lot of people are looking
because
forward to it.
there's some really good talent, former Valve artists, some designers from the old Looking Glass Studios.
I still got it on my Xbox 360. I need to
I
play
think it's
it.
going to be awesome.
It is a fantastic gem. Like seriously, if you haven't played it,
Oh,
it's
Brian, it's pronounced game.
Game.
I think they gave that away for free, and I think I have it on my 360.
It is well worth a play.
You got to play it on
Never
PC
touched it.
You have to play it on PC though. That's the rules.
I don't play
so
like
that you can save scum faster.
All
Quick save.
Brandon, number 2.
My number 2 is a pretty generic one. Xbox's future plans. So a lot of news has been leaked of Sony's and PlayStation with their VR and their Neo and their 4K stuff. Not a lot has been leaked about Xbox. So I'm just curious to see what they're going to do in the future. Are they going to do this half upgrade thing that Sony's doing? Are they going to come out with a new system? Are they going to do VR? Like what are they going to do?
I heard a pretty wild rumor, but the way they're going makes sense. I heard Microsoft might be pulling out of the hardware game.
And that's another thing.
Uh,
That's another rumor that's out there.
Yeah.
So
We'll see about that.
exactly, that's what I want to see. I want to see what they're going to do.
100% conjecture, but just
Yeah,
the
it's
way
all
they're
rumors.
building their like, hey, Windows 10 accessible, like, hey, play.
But
on
they're
Windows
still
10.
not doing Windows 10 right because they're forcing you to buy their
Correct.
games through the Windows Store,
right,
which is garbage.
Of course. But who's to say that they do it right? But that's a big rumor, and I'm curious.
I don't think they're pulling out. Last year they did announce, like vaguely without any specifics, they announced they were partnering with Oculus. So I wouldn't be surprised if Oculus announces something about working
True.
with the Xbox.
So I love me some
1.5.
Xbox. I just want to know what they're doing.
All right. My number 2 is... You know what? Let me set the stage for you.
do it.
This was Mark and I in the theater last year. Lights were low. Things got hot and heavy. I don't know where I'm going with that.
This got
Man,
weird.
this got to a story.
No, but we're last year during E3. Mark and I went to the Sony PlayStation experience that they had. They had them in movie theaters all over the country. There was one out here, and we're in the theater, and we're watching the press conference and stuff, and everything was looking really great and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, like the preview comes on, and it shows, some text and somebody walking, some birds flying. And you're like, interesting. You kind of recognize a little bit of it, and then all of a sudden I saw the playground, like the iconic playground, and I was like, I looked at Mark, and I'm like, no, there's no way. And I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it because you were there. People in the theater were like already going like, what? No, like freaking out.
Last year was the year dreams came true.
Yeah, like seriously. And then it showed Cloud and Barrett walking down the street, and then the iconic theme song from the very beginning of the game, and then it just says Final Fantasy VII remake, and the whole place just went ballistic, absolutely insane. Now, I've seen and heard things since it's been announced. I'm still super excited for it. I'm not as excited for it because I'm not crazy about
Reality set in.
I'm not crazy about how the battle system looks, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a terrible game by any means.
Brandon will get to play through it now.
He might, yeah.
what's with the battle system?
It's more action oriented.
It's not like turn based. Yeah. Did you ever play Kingdom Hearts?
No,
Oh, okay. Well,
It's like action RPG.
it looks a little more like
I
that.
like action. I hate turn-based.
I do too, actually.
But that's what I want to hear more about. I want to be able to see, God, if they have like even like a freaking demo of just a boss battle or something that you go in and do.
Yep.
I'd be so stoked to go in there, and I'm sure we'd be waiting for 4 hours to try it. But that's what I want to see. Yep. I want to hear and see more info on the Final Fantasy VII remake. That was seriously probably the most memorable E3 moment I've had. Was
Oh
that
yeah, and
right there.
like 10 minutes before that was The Last Guardian finally showing
Right,
up
Mark's
again.
geek
Yeah.
moment right there.
Oh yeah,
Well, I like the trailer got done, and I just looked at him and I go, Mark, I might seriously cry.
yeah. I do want to point out, if Final Fantasy VII sucks, the remake, it's our fault.
Sure.
Because we looked at each other before the show and we said, if they announce Final Fantasy
Oh,
VII,
that's right.
we got to go put $50 on black because we were at a casino
That's right.
theater to see it. and then we didn't.
We didn't do it. We didn't follow through, and they announced it. Yeah,
You guys jinxed
guys,
everything.
about
based
that.
on
It
my
might be terrible.
Because we're like, I
can blame
kind
us.
of don't want to get $50 out of the ATM.
Guys, based on my belief in superstition,
I
which
was
is
tired. I
zero,
just
you have
wanted to go
ruined
home.
this.
Ruined everything.
You ruined it.
So we'll see. But that's my number 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Very cool.
Brian, number 2.
My number 2 was also on Mr. Brandon's list.
Yeah.
On his number 5, it's way too low on his list, though. Guys, come on. All right.
It looks spectacular.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
I think my list is pretty good.
It is, but it should be probably like I'll let you put it at number 2. I get the first number 1, but it should be at least number 2, which is Horizon Zero Dawn. Come on. Are you kidding me?
Hey, at least it's on my list.
Touche. The amount of like good PlayStation exclusives, it kind of boggles my mind how
Just when you think they've done everything.
and they've hit on almost like can you name a PlayStation exclusive that hasn't been at least good or better since they've I mean there have been some Xbox exclusive that have been a little less than good, right? But
Yeah.
when's the last
What
time
about that Order 18?
I played the Order 1886?
Anybody who's played
I
it says it's
watched
good.
Brian play it, and it looked insane. Like,
Yeah.
it looked really good.
I mean, here's
Anybody
the,
who's played it said they loved it.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, like I said, I'm
That
not
I
going to
know.
put that on a pedestal like other games like Uncharted 4 that
Right.
just came out, but it was good. It was definitely. I mean, Brandon was sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic. It looked good. Action. I mean, it's a third-person shooter if you don't like that kind of game. But dude, Sony
Is
is
it third-person shooter? I thought it was first-person.
no, it's third-person.
Third person over the shoulder.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so I just PlayStation, man.
So, this game, bow and arrow, which is right up my alley, right?
My brother Kyle is all about that bow and
Bow and
too.
arrow.
Yeah.
Robotic dinosaurs.
Oh, dude.
Say no more, I'm in.
Well, and then what's funny is that's Brandon, and I love that stuff. I have like a little Brandon in me.
makes
yeah.
sense.
Nope, we're not going to. Nope.
Yep.
No, I mean Brandon really likes dragons. Dinosaur, they're kind of like a kind of dinosaur.
Yeah, it's the
But
same.
and here's my geekdom coming out. My Brian version of gaming, who's a story glutton, sold me on the game when they had that little exposition when they were looking at like a overgrown city that looked like it had been long abandoned. Like when they were talking about like when the character you're playing is, she's like, well, who built that? And then they did this little exposition about like the ones before. And I'm just like, I get goosebumps thinking about that. Like, dude, that is so right
looks
for
amazing.
good story.
The game looks beautiful.
It
Which
does.
means we'll probably get it in
Absolute-
2020.
I like that we like it for different reasons.
No, I like it for those reasons.
I
Like,
know.
I get the super. I like it. See, you like it all for the superficial. I love it. I love the first of all, robot
Yeah.
dinosaurs. Hello, bow and arrow. Hello. But then what sold me on it was the exposition on that scene when I was like, oh wow, they're really gonna like flesh this out, and this world's gonna be, you know,
The idea that if there
looks
was a
amazing.
collapse, that's how
and we're talking like
future
centuries
humans
into
would
the future.
look
Yeah,
at our civilization.
she was literally like, who built that? Like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
You know, it was really
And
really cool.
we know who, but they don't.
Correct.
Just to state the obvious.
That's called dramatic irony, I believe.
Are you just putting two words together?
No, it's literally dramatic irony when the
okay.
yeah,
Dramatic
when
ironing.
the player knows
Dramatic
something.
ironing?
Yeah,
Dramatic ironing. You have
Like
to
when
dramatic.
you're ironing
you
and
have
there's
to-
just like some heavy hardcore music in the background.
exactly.
and you're like,
Yes. Get that metalcore going.
yeah.
All right.
Anyway, my number 2, Brandon's number 5, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Game looks great.
It does. Yeah. I really, we get a hands on with that game.
I hope we
at,
do so much.
I want a full
excited.
report.
My number 2,
We'll do.
the long-awaited. It's been on a lot of other people's lists. It was on Brandon's list. It was on JJ's list. It wasn't on Brian's list.
Sad
That's because
day.
boo,
New Elder Scrolls? Question mark.
boo,
Brian, you can just get out of here.
boo. I have
We're
The
hoping.
Witcher 3. Why do I need a new Elder Scrolls?
Well, let us tell you why.
What?
Mark, that was the best thing you've ever done. It's the best.
I don't even know what to say right
We
now.
always need more stuff.
Yeah,
That's my mantra
well,
anyway.
poop is stuff. You don't want more of that.
I mean,
Fertilizer.
you want to be regular. You want to be
You
regular.
want to be healthy.
So,
Touche.
Elder
No,
Scrolls.
I mean, yeah, we have no like confirmation of this happening. This is just something we all
Yeah.
really, really want. So, and you know what?
It's been Skyrim was so long ago.
It was a long time ago.
I'd have to imagine they've got
2011?
another one.
If I had to guess, I don't think we're going to get one this year. I think they'll probably do what they did with Fallout 4. Maybe we'll see it like next year or something. How long was the wait between Fallout 3 and Skyrim? Do we know?
Fallout 3 was in 2008,
And then Skyrim was 2011, I'm pretty sure.
so 3 years.
But they've really grown as a studio since then.
Yeah. I honestly don't know.
I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
mean, they dropped Fallout 4 on us out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
It could even be just like a teaser. Say, hey, we're working on it. I'd be fine with that.
Absolutely.
That's all I need in life.
Yep.
Because those Western RPGs, man.
I wouldn't be surprised. Just to like pull this completely out of my butt. I wouldn't be surprised if the Skyrim team went on to start working on a new engine and they just got Fallout 4 out of the gate as their last game for the last engine, and they didn't announce it because they weren't. I don't know. There's probably some stuff that went on in development.
They need a new engine, like, and I mean it. Like, if they reveal a new Elder Scrolls game and it's running on the same engine that Fallout 4 and Skyrim are running on, I'm gonna be like, dude, what are you doing?
It's
Bethesda?
going to be very disappointing.
Yeah, they need to.
I think there's a good 50% chance they announce at E3 a
We'll
new
see.
Elder Scrolls.
okay,
We'll see.
Be interesting.
All right. Brandon, number 1, sir.
My number one. And so, in recent weeks, this has become more likely that this might happen, which is really exciting. But my number one is to see a Red Dead Redemption 2. So, there's been leaks of maps, and then Rockstar came out and says, hey, we're going to announce some stuff soon. So, I'm hoping and praying to dear baby Jesus that Red Dead Redemption 2 gets announced. I hope.
What if it's just a Red Dead Redemption remaster?
I would still be okay with that.
Yeah, I'd probably play it.
Yeah.
I would still be definitely okay with that. I would prefer the sequel, obviously. Which I think if they're going to announce anything, it will be the sequel because of that leak map, quote unquote. We don't know how good.
What
of a
else will
source
they
that
be?
is.
I mean, they did Max Payne a while ago.
Yeah.
They did another GTA, so it's got to be.
It's
Red
got to
Dead
be,
Redemption.
and if it's a prequel like they say it is, I hope so because we get to play as John Marston again. Spoiler
A
alert
young John Marston.
for anyone who hasn't played the first game. But yeah, that's what I want to
Second
see the
game.
most. If they announce it and I'm there to see it when it's announced,
Can we get
that
your
will make
visceral
my trip.
reaction?
Well, I don't know when it's going to happen.
I know. I want you to record him when
Just
it happens.
constantly have a GoPro on JJ's head,
Yeah.
so he can just turn to me whenever this gets announced. I would oh my god, I'd goosebumps, and I would just a little kid in a candy store. Oh my god, I'll be so happy.
All right. There we go. Red Dead Redemption 2. I'd be excited for that as well. My number 1 is entirely selfish and all just about me. And it is E3 2016 itself. The fact that I'm going to be there is what I'm looking forward to the most. It could be the worst E3 ever, and I'll still be excited that I got to go. I'm just excited to be able to be a part of it for once. It's been a dream of mine for a long time, and glad I actually get to experience it for once. So
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
pretty cool. So that's my number 1. I mean, short and sweet. Being at E3 2016.
I'm jelly.
You should be.
I just want full reports.
We're gonna give you half.
I think
reports.
we're gonna probably bring my little portable recorder. Maybe a mic or two.
Maybe like do an end,
And then,
end of
like,
day debrief.
At the end of each day, we're in the hotel room, just talk about what we saw and what we got to play
that.
and whatnot.
I'd listen to that. 10 out of 10 would listen.
Brian, what's your number 1 that
My number-
nobody else besides us has on the list?
Yeah, well, number 1 is Mass Effect Andromeda. Number 2 is WTF, guys.
I've never played a Mass Effect game in my life,
WTF, Bran.
but that's nothing new.
So obviously you guys know I'm a Mass Effect fan, but I am really curious to see. First of all, Andromeda is the name of a galaxy, not the Milky Way galaxy. It's the one in our local group.
You are correct in saying that Andromeda is not the name of the Milky Way galaxy.
Right, but some people are like, Brian, Andromeda, isn't that part of our galaxy? No, that is a separate galaxy altogether. And I do know that flying between galaxies is basically impossible. So I want to find out.
And the Reapers couldn't do it.
Yeah.
They do it in Stargate.
I want to find out how humanity gets to Andromeda, or if maybe they go in a weird direction and there's actually another human civilization not related to the Milky Way humans. Like I don't know.
Yeah, we know almost nothing about the story at all.
Exactly. I'm really curious to see. They kind of opened up a whole new world for themselves because it's a brand new galaxy. So you can have new races, you can have new, weird things you'd never even think about. Like,
Yeah. And I think I speak for all of us when I say we're hoping for more Mako missions, right?
Gotta love the Mako missions.
Do you want to know why I didn't put it on my list?
I really do, Mark, because I'm about to go off.
Because
Jeez. Wow.
everyone's had a little blow up today except for JJ.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but basically I'm just a little gun shy about all the changes in the ranks over at BioWare. And the lead people behind the original trilogy are gone now.
Yeah.
Dude, this game could come out and be
A lot of writers have changed.
It's supposed to be different anyways. So.
I'm not discounting the fact that this game could come out and be a complete garbage dumpster poop fire.
I'm just nervous because EA has a tendency
bad
of
track
slowly draining the life out of every studio they buy.
I would not be surprised if they go Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be a online shooter in which you're in the
We
Andromeda
decided to make
galaxy.
Mass Effect more accessible.
Did you know they cut the story?
Who wants motion controls?
Did you know that EA cut the Battlefront story mission, like the campaign?
Because of
Not surprised.
episode 7.
Because they just want to squeeze out that. That's the problem with EA is they are all bottom line. They're
Yep.
very little art.
All about
bottom
the
line.
dollars, man.
Yeah, so they cut the campaign missions too, and that could very well happen to Mass Effect Andromeda. It could be like a Mako online shooter. Just drive around on Mako and
Hopefully it's amazing.
MOBA.
Yeah, it's the same
I'd
reason
say
we
it's
want to see the
probably
Warcraft movie. It could be
Right.
terrible, but
Yeah.
we love Warcraft so much
Exactly.
that we want to check this out.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure.
But Mass Effect Andromeda is my number one, and if it sucks, it won't have any bearing on my love for the first trilogy because it was fantastic.
All right, Mark, number 1.
My number one is Brian's shame.
I don't know why it's not on my list.
Cyberpunk 2077, the new game from CD Projekt Red.
Yep. And there,
I mean,
Have they said anything about saying anything at E3, or is it just we just hope?
I would imagine they're going to say something. I mean,
they might not have much because
Have they ever had a huge E3 presence? I mean, I know they've talked about Witcher a little bit, but
they
2
showed a
years
lot of
ago-
stuff at yeah.
2 years ago, Witcher 3 was huge at E3. Yeah, it won a lot of awards.
So, what is this game? Because I hear you talk about it, but I have no idea what it is.
It is
It's Cyberpunk 2077.
it's an RPG in the same vein as the Witcher series, except it takes place in 2077.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed? In a cyberpunk future, if you're familiar with things like
Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell
Yeah.
or Blade Runner, then you know
Gotcha.
cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
gritty.
I'm conflicted on this. Very conflicted because I don't like Cyberpunk at all,
Yeah.
but I really, really like.
Man, you don't
what
like
CD Projekt
cyberpunk.
Red.
You don't like steampunk.
It's-
I'm starting to think you just don't like
I know,
punks.
but FF6 is my favorite game ever, and I
True.
really love what they did with The Witcher, so I will absolutely give this a shot.
So honestly, I am ashamed that it's not on my list. This probably would be number one if I thought we were going to get anything substantial this year.
I think we will. They've
But-
been working on it for a long
but-
time.
The CDPR has earned my. There's very few. Blizzard, Naughty Dog, and CDPR are kind of like some of the companies that I'm immune to being like, let's wait and see. They've earned my respect in saying like, I know you guys pump out good products, and
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of high fantasy, but Witcher 3 is one of my favorite worlds of all time. So if they can actually take a sci-fi story and do what they did with The Witcher 3, I mean, seriously, this is like number 0.5 on my list, if that's
Yeah.
the case. But I just don't feel like we're going to get a lot out of it. So, I mean, Mark's absolutely right. Cyberpunk 2077 is...
I mean, I'm hoping they've already shown a teaser trailer
Sure.
like 2 years ago
Sure.
now at this point.
if
So,
they have like gameplay or like in-game footage, oh my
yeah.
God. I'm gonna
I
geek
imagine they'll have some sort of new
Yep.
cinematic trailer just to give us an idea,
out. Yep.
but probably not much else.
Sure.
Solid. All right. There you have it. There's our top 5 things we're hoping to see at E3 2016.
Hoping to see it
or
E3.
that we know is going to be there. We're just excited to see it.
Some
Yep.
of us in person.
Heck
dude.
yeah.
I want a full report.
Half reports.
We should just come back and not say anything and just
Not
be
a
like, you know
word.
what? We're going to keep this for us.
You guys know I'm gonna be like on your grills, Snapchatting you every day, all day. Like, what you seeing? What you seeing? Give me some snaps. I want to see it.
It was a secret. They made us sign a waiver form.
That's not even true. It's literally E3 is literally to get the news out. They don't do that. They are
just-
like, please tell us.
What
please.
if they change it this year?
All right.
That's
Mark,
not always the case. Go ahead.
I need you to fire people up again because we didn't get any contributor responses this time. So next episode 89, we're asking people, what are your thoughts on movies based on video games? We got the Warcraft movie coming out, so we don't know whether it's going to be
All
good or
right.
bad. We want to see Mark get them fired up.
Let me tell you a story.
Oh boy.
I have a friend, and his first name is Patrick, and and he just retired from the Fool's Lantern podcast because he's too busy. He's got other things going on in his life. Needless to say, you all don't want to be like Patrick, so you need to start contributing to this podcast. The end.
That's it. That was your
I don't know, man,
big speech.
I don't feel very
Man,
fired up.
You did it a while ago.
I can't remember.
Mark does not go
I
off the
did
cuff.
it.
Mark does. Mark would
He
save
has
scum
before, though.
I know, but Mark would save scum in real life if he could.
No, he says I don't go off the cuff. Here's here's the truth. I can't go off the cuff on demand. I'll go off the cuff on my own terms if I don't expect it, and it just comes naturally to me.
True.
But I
Which is
can't.
what you did last time.
I can't
He's
help it.
planning his off the cuffness.
No, I can't. You can't say, give me your off the cuff remarks, because that's not how it works.
That is literally how it works.
No, it's not how it works. If it's off the cuff, I'm just randomly going to have a spark from nothing, and it's going to become good. And you know what? If you want to show us about that spark of gaming you have in your soul, if you want to show us that you really care about games and you get excited for E3, and that inside you're still a child who loves this hobby of ours, this hobby that takes you to different worlds every time you fire up a console or a PC, then you need to tell us what you think about movie adaptations of video games. Because the movie adaptations of video games, are they better? Do they take you to a different world quite as much as a video game itself? Do they? You just need to tell me, because I don't understand why they keep making these garbage movies. So, tell me why.
Are they garbage movies?
Yeah, pretty much.
Some of them are. Some of them are okay.
Tell me they aren't garbage movies.
I'm trying to think of it.
You know what? We need to hear from people.
The
That's
Hitman
what it
movie,
is.
Never saw
garbage.
it.
Hear from
The
Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers movie, garbage.
Wasn't Silent Hill a movie or something?
Silent
Resident
Hill,
Evil?
Resident Evil, garbage.
All right. So, yes, please send us. What are your thoughts on movies based on video games? Send your contributions to FrozenNorthPodcast@gmail.com. We'll be here. And clearly, Mark is sort of fired up. All right. Well, this is the Frozen North signing off for episode number 88. We appreciate you tuning in and listening to us. That's all I got, guys. You got anything else?
I don't got nothing else.
Nothing here, man.
You better contribute, or I'm going to come for you.
Whoa!
That's a little.
Hey!
Resorting to threats now. Okay.
He will, but he's going to show up with like a basket of cookies or something.
But if you spot him when he's coming, he's gonna go reload his game.
Try again. All right. My name is JJ.
My name is Mark.
In mi nombre Brian.
And I'm Brandon.
And as always, thanks again for listening and keep on gaming.
Our theme song was made available through the Creative Commons Attribution license by Ziphoid. The song title is Radical Fanfare.